Well, hello, and welcome to my channel, Laura's Lupus. Hi, my name is Laura, and today is Lupus Facts Tuesday. So I would like to welcome you to another episode of Lupus Facts Tuesday, brought to you by yours truly. If you enjoy the content of this channel, please take just a few minutes just to hit that subscribe button, to hit the like button, and to share the information. If you have been with me for a while, if you've been a subscriber for a while, thank you. I truly appreciate you. And I want you to know it is so important that we share information regarding lupus, that we increase awareness about lupus, that we share videos and information like communities like this, because guess what? You're doing a very important part. I'm doing my part as a lupus advocate to advocate for more awareness, to encourage and to educate lupus warriors all around the world. But when you do your part, okay, you help to bring about an increased understanding of the disease called lupus. You help by improving the care and identifying new, safe, and effective treatments to treat the disease called lupus. And it's so important that we advocate as lupus warriors for ourselves, but it's also important that we get as many people on board to advocate for us. And there are so many different ways that you can advocate. Again, you can advocate by sharing videos like this in the YouTube community, by liking and subscribing. You can also share by writing letters to your government, to your congressman, to your House of Representatives, um, to advocate for um, better treatment and better care, and just to advocate for more awareness and possibly for a cure, for more monies to be allocated towards finding a cure for lupus. But in order to do that, we must keep lupus at the forefront. We must keep the information, we must keep it going out into the world. We must make the information available. We must let more people know about what it's like to live day to day with lupus. It's a battle. It's a battle that some people may never understand if you've never experienced a lupus flare. Whether it's a mild, moderate, or severe flare, you may never understand what a lupus patient is going through. Each and every day is different. We never know what we're going to experience when we wake up every day. We all hope for good days. We all hope to get up and feel our best, but sometimes that's just not possible. And it all depends on how severe the flare is, what organ of the body that the flare is impacting. And so today I wanted to bring this lupus fact episode just to talk with you a little bit and present to you some facts regarding how lupus impacts the life of a lupus warrior. Okay? And some of this information may be new to some, and to others, it may be old information, but it's information anyway. Okay? So, lupus fact number one: lupus negatively impacts the relationships, daily responsibilities, finances, employment, and the enjoyment of life of a lupus patient. And how is that? Well, what impacts a lupus patient impacts their family. If it impacts their work productivity, it impacts their coworkers, it impacts their finances because it's a loss of wages. If it impacts their daily responsibilities, things that sometimes we take for granted, bathing, washing our hair, cooking, cleaning, running errands, transportation to hospital visits and doctor visits. Sometimes other people may take that for granted, but it may negatively impact the life of a lupus patient. They may have to reach out to family members or some service to help them just with day to day routine responsibilities, okay? And then who doesn't want to enjoy life, okay? So that's fact number one. Fact number two: 1 in 4 people with lupus are permanently disabled. Did you know that? Permanently disabled, which means they're considered unemployable for the duration of their lives. That's a huge that's a huge impact, especially if Your life has been centered around your work. Um, to not to be unable to report to work, that's a loss of wages, a loss of income. That's a loss of sometimes your self-esteem. It's a loss of who you are. It's a loss of future plans. A loss of retirement, a loss of benefits. That's a huge impact on a person to be considered unemployable, to be labeled as permanently disabled for the duration of your life. Okay, which means they're going to have to seek other services in order to supplement their income. They're going to have to depend on other services in order to support themselves. Okay, fact number three, only 31% of adults with lupus are employed full time. And sometimes working full time can be so overwhelming for a lupus patient that they either go down to working part time, they settle for on call work or seasonal work, or working from home if that's an option. And sometimes they have to leave the workforce altogether. And again, that impacts their finances because loss of wages, um, you know, um, loss of being able to support yourself and your family, that can be such a negative impact, not only on your finances, but on a person's mental and physical health, emotional health, and spiritual health as well. It can impact so many areas. Lupus is such a mysterious disease, it's such a broad spectrum disease, it is such a debilitating disease. It's not a one size fit all disease at all, and it all depends on what type of flare a person is having and what major organ is impacting in the body, which can set a person back for life. Okay. um, if a person is having a flare, it can, they range from mild, moderate to severe. But if a person is experiencing a severe flare in their heart or in their lungs or in their kidneys, it can set them back for life. And so this here is another prime example of how lupus negatively impacts the life of a lupus patient. Fact number four, and I'm going to present this fact in the form of a question, and I'll give you a few minutes to think about it, to ponder, and to answer the question. I have a question for you. Fact number four, how much do you think it costs annually in medical fees to take care of one lupus patient? And I'll give you a few minutes to think about that. Okay, are you ready? It costs annually $21,000 on average to care for one lupus patient. That's expensive. That sounds more like, someone who has a surgery, or that's in the hospital for 3 or 4 months. But on average, it costs $21,000 annually to take care of just one lupus patient. And so, fact number five is going to tie into and give a more detailed explanation why medical costs are so high for a lupus patient. Get this, fact number five. Within the first 2 years of a diagnosis, prescription meds for a lupus patient increase from one to on average 4 to 7 medications that they take per day. So a person may start off taking one medication, and because lupus is a progressive disease, on average they may end up taking 4 to 7 different medications on a daily basis. Now just think about that. We all know how expensive medications can be. Think about taking 7 medications per day, getting a refill every 30 days. Just count up the cost. And this is not factoring in whether the person has health insurance or not. If they don't have health insurance, my goodness, that's very difficult. But if they have health insurance, you still have to factor in the co-pays for the refills every month for the rest of their lives. And then this could increase from 7 medications to, in another couple of years, it may be 10 or 12 medications that a lupus patient is taking on a daily basis. But get this, not only does medications increase or prescriptions increase, doctor visits increase. Okay, so that's co-pays for doctor visits. That's transportation that you have to factor in. Hospitalizations increase. Okay, hospitalizations for treatments and tests and scans, you know, that's a huge amount of money. That's a huge cost. Also, you have to factor in, leave from work, sick leave from work increases by 40%. And so, if you're missing work due to, you're eating up your sick leave, or you may have to, instead of using your vacation days to take a vacation, once you use up your sick leave, you may have to start dipping into your vacation days, which means that, that's a loss of wages, that's a loss of income, that's a loss of productivity. you know um, Not only does it impact you, but your coworkers have to take up the slack for the work that you're unable to complete. And no one wants that. No one wants to put a burden on their coworkers. No one wants to have a loss of productivity. Okay. Also, if there's a illness or a surgery that you have to have, yes, FMLA is available, but FMLA is unpaid sick leave. And so, that's a huge impact on a lupus patient's life. That's a huge impact on their family. Again, you know, when they're dealing with something like this, there's always, in order to try to achieve some sort of balance, they have to sometimes make really hard decisions as far as, do I, purchase my prescription or put food on the table? Do I, take this surgery, or do I pay my mortgage? Do I pay my mortgage, or do I make my car payment? Do I pay my mortgage, or do I get the car repaired? Sometimes we never know the internal struggle that lupus patients face on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes they end up having to, leave their home, sell their home, because they're unable to make the mortgages. They have to end up selling their cars or their precious possessions. And again, they're put in between a rock and a hard plate. Do I choose this for my health, or do I choose this? If they have a family, children that depend on them for their income, these are difficult choices that are made every day. They may have to look and reach out to other programs like the Red Cross or social services to help supplement the income that they're losing. And if they have to leave their job permanently due to lupus, that means they're going to have to depend on services like social services. Um, they're going to have to depend on family members or churches to help them to do, just to maintain and take care of life's responsibilities. And if they have to leave work before retirement age, that means that's a loss of retirement benefits. That's a loss of health benefits. There are some major losses that are incurred. Some lupus patients never remain on their job long enough in order to retire. And so they have to look for help in other areas. And if you're accustomed to making a certain amount of income, if you have to reach out to social services, the money that it provides, be thankful for the help, but the money that it provides, there is no way that it's going to make up for what you were accustomed to making on your paid job. It's not going to make up for the benefits that you were accustomed to having. Okay. So sometimes we never know what inside battles people are facing, from day to day. And again, everyone wants to get up and enjoy life and, have the best life possible for themselves and their family members. But that's such an unknown because lupus is so mysterious. You never know what battle with lupus you're going to face when you open your eyes every day. So, just keep that in mind. And, let's continue to advocate so that we can help um, lupus patients that are struggling, that are being impacted negatively in so many different areas of their lives. You know, I don't want to see another lupus patient have to struggle and have to make hard decisions as far as choosing medications or food on the table, or choosing to make a car repair or pay their mortgage or their rent. Those are some hard choices that we have to face. Okay, and so I'm going to wrap the video up. I didn't want it to be too long, and as I say at the end of every video, there is life after lupus. Stay strong, lupus warriors. Stay encouraged. I hope that this video finds you doing well. I hope that it finds you in a good place. And I know that, sometimes just being in a good place, that's easier said than done. Um, a lot of times it's hard to get to that good place, or if we get to that good place, sometimes it's hard to stay in that good place. But I just want to encourage you to keep going, you know, um, keep climbing day by day, keep just keep moving forward. Keep doing whatever you can to get to that good place. Um, Keep going forward as far as thinking positive and keeping a positive mindset, and just knowing that there are people out there that are advocating for you and that want the best for you, and that things will get better. And hopefully one day, we will find a cure for lupus, but we got to do our part to advocate for it. Okay? So stay encouraged, stay blessed, and I'll talk to you again on the next video. Bye for now, my friends.